Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on BCTV and still in Florida, talking to you inside, not outside on the lanai. Doing pretty well over here and wrapping up our last few weeks doing the remote shows like this. So I wanted to get one little segment in here because people ask me, I get a lot of questions about, oh, my son or daughter is playing the saxophone, and or things like if it takes me a lot of air, especially for my size, to get a sound out of the saxophone, and what I went through and things like that. So I wanted to talk about, having the right instrument for you as an individual, depending on your size. Myself being a small person in stature. I got something on my eye here. No, it's just on the computer. Small person in stature that I am, also the mouthpiece and reed is your instrument tailored to you. And it also applies to other instruments like guitar. Maybe I can get Larry on here to talk about strings and the action and different things on the fretboard that make things more of a struggle to play if you don't have the right instrument for you. So back to the saxophone though, if the mouthpiece and reed are wrong for the player and their skill level, they end up working harder. And the same with if you have a leaky saxophone. When I started, I had a saxophone that leaked like a sieve, and I'm blowing my brains out, and sounded horrible, but I mean, you sound horrible when you start out anyway, but I was making myself work harder. So if you want to play the saxophone, you have to do the research on the best brand and make and model for you. And naturally, you don't want or need a pro sax model if you don't know whether you're going to take to the instrument, but you still want to get a good quality horn, whether it's a student model or a pro model, that'll help you succeed in learning. So you won't be fighting with the action or the placement of the keys for your particular hand size, small hands, in my instance, air control and tone. So the best brands, I'd say, check out online and local music stores for that info. But my take on that is a Selmer, like I have here. This is my Selmer Alto Mark 6, and Yamaha and Dakotas and Kurzweil and Yanagisawa for the pro player. And I think Selmer still makes the student model Selmer, which is used to be called Bundy. I'm not sure if it still is called Bundy. The other important factors, of course, back to the mouthpiece, I hear parents talk of their kid struggling with the playing, sounding horrible, when possibly no one is, no one, including the music teacher possibly, has given much thought to the mouthpiece and reed combination. They just throw, okay, here's a mouthpiece and here's a, 1.5 size reed, and that's going to do it. I might be wrong, but check into this. It's really a science into itself, the way the mouthpiece is built. This is a metal mouthpiece, as you can see, and there's a little gap between what is called the bevel there, that pointy part, slanted pointing part, and how much space there is between the bevel and the reed. That's going to help you, that's really going to decide what kind of tone you have. Also, the inside, which is known as the bore, I guess you could see the inside there, that's going to tend to be larger inside the bore for beginners. No, it's the other way around, sorry. Smaller for beginners and larger for somebody that's been playing for a long time. Also, the bevel will tend to be sharper for somebody that's been playing for a long time and not so sharp for the beginner. Once again, I'm not the expert in this. I just know what I know from my teacher over the years, George. And I would follow George to pawn shops and music stores, and I would try different combinations of reeds, and mouthpieces on what I had at the time was a con, and that thing leaked like a sieve. One of the things, back to the saxophone itself, you really have to, my nose is itching, you really have to make sure that you're playing on a saxophone that is tight, that all the keys are closing all the way. There's no gaps, there's no air leaks, there's no springs that are out. Take it to a good saxophone repair person, get it looked at. Now you might think, wow, that thing, it sure looks kind of grungy looking, the finish. I've had this since 1980, and it was sitting in some guy's closet, and I bought it pretty inexpensively at the time. It looked like new then. Now, not so much, okay? Do I want to refinish this and make it look all shiny new? No, I don't, because that's going to really mess with the beautiful tone that it gets. So you don't want to go refinishing a saxophone like this. If you want to buy something new, that's different. They make them totally different now. This one is the Selmer made in Paris. I don't even think they make them in Paris anymore. But so where was I? So, oh, and also talking about leaks, okay, in the saxophone. George, for instance, he had an unusual way of checking for leaks. He'd be smoking more cigarettes, and he'd take a drag off a cigarette and inhale the smoke, and let me put my mouthpiece back on, blow the smoke into the horn, cover the keys, and see if any smoke leaked out the keys, okay? I wouldn't recommend that, especially if you're a kid, okay? Don't be doing that. But the other thing, as a little do-it-yourself thing that I do, is you could buy a little tube light or one of those little LED things on a tape that are kind of LEDs that you can put down inside the saxophone to light it up on the inside, and check to see if you could see the light on either sides of the keys. That's how you tell if you have an air leak or not. Best suggestion is to take it to a tech, repair person that can really diagnose what the situation is. So that's all I got to say about that for right now. I might want to add more onto this as I go, but just kind of give you a little bit of insight. Also, yeah, one more thing. Yeah, if you're just starting out, you want to be all about scales and arpeggios. But one place to start out is to just do one of these. If you can get that sound out of there, you got your first start of blowing the air into the saxophone correctly. Then you got to find one note to play on here and just play that one note. Take in all your breath and just play that one note in key for the whole breath, using as little air as possible, but projecting that air. Anyway, I know I'm glossing over a lot of stuff, and this is only my opinion, the way I learned it. For more information, keep researching what you want to do, and find out what you're playing on, what you want to play on, and that it's right for you. All right, everybody. That's all I got to say about that. All right, bye.